This is Edison Penn's podcast episode 263 for Wednesday, February 28th, 2018. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
Thanks for joining us.
Why is there a pink pumpkin?
I don't know why there's a pink pumpkin.
Go ahead.
You're laughing already. My joke is that good.
Your jokes are never that funny.
What?
And I have people who agree with me. I think the people who like your jokes are just...
They're funny. What did the grape say when he got stepped on?
Nothing, because he was squashed.
Nothing. He just let out a little whine.
Oh.
Anyway.
Like I said, they're not funny.
It's the best I could do on short notice.
I know. So I see you're dressed for the majority of our
we have
collection.
This just happens to work out this way. Most of today is purple, so we have a lot of new and exciting stuff that's come in or come back, coming around. It's been a couple weeks since we did a podcast because of the LA show, so let's hit it. Back.
OMFG, Purple Cosmos is back. Love this pen. I love the sparkles.
It's nice. It's a very nice looking pen. I like it a lot.
What is the most important thing that people need to know?
This is not a limited edition pen. It was never identified as a limited edition pen, while some retailers may have called it that.
From the distributor.
It was never
targeted or disclaimed, claimed to be limited. So
the first batch was maybe a limited release, but we knew from the start that
small batch.
Right, yeah. We knew from the start that there was a very good possibility there was going to be a second.
Yes.
And maybe even a third production run.
So these are not limited. They may be short-term.
They may be short-term. They're probably going to be discontinued at some point in the future. But
buy one.
What's the best part about this?
It's sparkly. That's the best part.
It's sparkly, matching section.
Yes.
Matching finials here.
Love that.
And caps.
They did
all
a nice
in the
job.
same, And if you have the Starburst Galaxy, you have to have the Purple Cosmos.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I wore this shirt today thinking I'm going to put my Purple Cosmos in, but I got sidetracked, but we'll talk about that later.
All right.
Cosmos is back in stock. We have a limited selection.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Lamy Vibrant Pink. It's kind of a darker fuchsia. It's not as bright and obnoxious as I thought it might be.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which is a good thing.
It's not bad.
I tend to prefer the All-Star Limiteds. I think the colors are better.
Yeah.
I loved the petrol in the plastic. I thought that was great, but I don't consider this to be. This is kind of bordering on purple.
Almost purple, yeah.
But it's not the same as the All-Star Purple.
No.
It's a cool color. I think it's done well, and they always do a great job with the matching ink. So nice job.
Cartridges and bottles.
Yes.
And the ink. We should talk about the ink.
The ink,
the ink has
some. You can't tell on the card, but the ink apparently has some sheen. I haven't played with it yet. It came in while we were gone, and
we were in for a day and a half, I
and
think,
then we were gone.
But
from what I hear from our staff, Kim especially is going gaga over it. So.
Yeah, when you lay it down thick, now you're not going to see it on a fine nib, but I think on a broad nib or a stub or something like that, maybe a 1.5, 1.9 Lamy, you're going to see that sheen come out. So.
A lot of that sheen is wasted on me with my fine.
It is, yeah. Really, if you're using a broader nib, you're going to see it. You're going to experience it more.
I still don't want a broad nib.
It's more for me.
There you go. All right. What else?
Moving right along, the big announcement of the week, I think. This is awesome.
This is heaven.
Retro
we
51.
Love you, George and Company.
Yep. Chicago Terabyte. Chicago Tornado, I mean.
This is so cool. They are just so talented at Retro 51. The art department is so amazing. They took what we wanted and made it reality. It's perfect.
It's great.
And it's got the stars on the top.
The Chicago flag on the top. And I want to give props to our very own Chris.
Yes.
For assisting in the design. Chris always takes something and then adds to it, takes away. And like with the Terabyte, we do have our initials are secretly hidden in one of the buildings. Comes in I don't know if this is the prototype tube, but it will come in a special glossy tube with actually a little bit of a different design on the tube than it actually is in the pen. But on the pen, we've got Willis Tower and we've got some other things. And it looks like on the tube we got a couple other local
Yeah.
buildings, but
No, they do such a great job. And we had the wonderful opportunity to see the owner of Retro 51 this past weekend, and had a great chance to chat and talk about things. And we weren't sure if he had seen the new Chicago, so we made sure to bring it, and he'd already seen it.
you'd already see it.
Yep.
So, anyway, Retro 51 Chicago, that's our own special edition. We're
Not
gonna have
limited.
That. Not limited. We're
Not
going to have
numbered.
that for an indefinite period of time until something else comes along. So,
All right.
and there may be something else coming along.
Is there?
There might be. Yep, we talked about it this weekend.
No. You were sick. You were rambling
I'm still
on.
sick.
You
I
were not
blame-
making much sense.
I blame Jason. I'm going to throw him under the bus for this one. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Jason was sick and announced it on the Nib Noobs and then passed it along.
Although, to his credit, he was very careful all week. He's like, he'd come in and we'd want to see, he's like, okay, I didn't touch this one.
He
Or
was.
yeah.
He was thoughtful.
He was, yeah. I don't know how the hell I got it. I was only
Contagious,
here
but
for
thoughtful.
36 hours and I caught his cold. Anyway, next up, Platinum 3776 Oshino. Look at that. Very cool. It's very,
It's clear.
I got to say, it's a transparent. It's kind of plain, but they've started to do this new raised cap band thing, which I think is great. It's very classy looking. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Slip and seal cap, of course. Silver converter, 14 karat nib. If you're into the 3776 limiteds,
Great writers.
it's a nice,
Just
it's
great,
a nice
great
looking pen.
writers.
I don't know what more to say about it. The Oshino is in stock for a limited time.
Those will go quickly. They
Yeah.
always do. All of their are those limiteds? All right. So all of the
All the
specialty-
special platinums, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So what do we got next? And this next one we actually saw when we went to LA. We do our annual visit to Itoya, and
it's
this
like
this
the
was
high point. The weather and the trip to Itoya are like the high points of the LA show.
yeah. And this is the first thing they brought out, I think. When we
They've
came in and
learned.
sat down, and
I contacted Larry and I said, you got to pace it. Don't show Brian the good stuff right away because then he's gone mentally for the rest of the conversation. Save the good stuff.
I won't say it's a big sales pitch, but they always bring out all the new stuff, and this was like brand new. The PaperSkater Galaxy.
These are so cool. I couldn't stop playing with them.
It's a neat looking pen. They did it right.
A little big, a little chunky.
It's not terribly big.
No, it's not
It's
huge.
no bigger
but
than
I
a
said
no-
little. It's a little
big. It's just no
Is that
bigger
an
than it is an
oxymoron? Is that
oxymoron.
okay.
It's no bigger than the Lamy Safari actually in girth and in length.
All right. So beautiful
And what is this?
machined aluminum.
Yes,
Okay. And what do you do with it?
brushed. Well, this is a holder for the Itoya blade,
It's so cool.
which is a disposable fountain pen, which you haven't tried. Is really a great disposable.
So the blade fits in here. It's basically a sleeve for the blade.
It pretties it up.
Yeah.
And you
I can't do this without my glasses.
screw it on.
Yeah, you screw it on.
There you go.
Put your glasses on for that one.
Threaded cap.
Threaded cap. It does post, right?
Yeah, it's a great posting pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
nice.
If you have a blade, these are great. You've got blue,
Charcoal.
charcoal.
Firefly,
This
which is nice.
cool.
Yeah, nice orange.
Syracuse colors.
There you go.
I know, I say that all the time. Go
And
SU.
limelight,
Limelight. Go.
which is a nice lime.
What's the other thing you can do with this thing?
So here's the cool thing. So you're thinking, okay, well that's great, but I don't have a blade. Well,
Right.
number one, you ought to get a blade because it's really
It's a fantastic
it's one
pen.
of the best disposables are out there. But almost everybody else on the planet has got one of these guys, the
A
Varsity.
a Pilot Varsity.
So this will slide in there. Slide that in. And it comes with an adapter, which you slip in the bottom end of the thing.
I'm getting there.
You slip it in there. I'm trying to help you with this one.
Oh, that was your first
And-
mistake.
And voila, your
It
Varsity
also
fits in there.
The Varsity, which is very clever.
It's nice, yeah.
Very clever. So,
Seals up nice. It's got, and what I like about this, and we're spending a lot of time with it. But I think it's a really great pen.
It's a terrific little
Is this section has
idea.
got this little ribbing on it?
Yes.
And you have to look very carefully to even see the threading, which is right at the end here.
Yeah.
It's very well done.
Really
I
well designed.
Yeah, I really like it. It's got little screws on the clip. It's very
It was kind
very
of
industrial.
Kind of fun for us to get excited about something that wasn't like a hard to find higher end sailor when we were at Itoya. I just think these are a great idea. And I can't decide on the colors, so I might need to have two. One for varsity, one for blade.
Get the orange. The orange is cool.
Orange and blue.
Orange is cool.
Why? Orange and blue.
Syracuse.
There you go.
All right. Anyway,
What else?
PaperSkater Galaxy.
Yes, fantastic.
And while we were there, of course, Taccia rolls through their pen wraps about quarterly.
Which
about
we
every
both
4 to 6 months.
love and dislike at the same time, because sometimes a pattern you really like is discontinued because they do they make them out of small runs of fabric, and so when they're out, they're out.
Yeah. And there's usually no notice.
Yes.
It's not like
They're
hey,
just
we got
out.
you're done.
So that's a little disappointing sometimes, but on the other hand, it means that you constantly have cool new things.
You got new stuff coming out. So
Which is good.
There's 3 new single kimono wraps. We have this one is the hexagon crest, which is also available in the 4 and the 8.
Yes.
Which is a nice gray. It's got some orange and some light green in there. We've got the Garden Jubilee, which is a new pattern.
Yes.
There's
some pink in there.
there's some pink and some gold. Yep.
Metallic, very
Yep.
pretty.
And the Sakura Mystic Waves, which is very similar to what they've had in the past.
The rolling waves.
The rolling waves, but we've got Sakuras on there. We've got some cherry blossoms, white and silver and gold and black.
You know, I consider the, which one is this?
That's the Garden Jubilee.
Okay, I consider the Garden Jubilee to be good for, I think, either male or female, but there is definitely
There's some pink in there. Yep.
The other two definitely could be gender neutral.
Sure, absolutely. And then you got this cute little wrap,
Yep.
and then over the top, and then they're real nice. Taccia makes really great wraps. So 3 more of those, and I think that probably means there's probably going to be some 4s and 8s coming down the road too.
Yes, probably. Are you going to show off what you got?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
We've got some Visconti to talk about.
Oh yeah. Oh, these are pretty.
So these are cool.
I'm very excited.
So at the LA show, we picked up. Yeah, I know. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I want that one.
Good for you. Visconti
you're
Opera.
sick.
Yes, I'm sick. It's
a good thing.
Cool. Visconti Opera, Silver Dust, Opera Master. It's got the double reservoir power filler. It's cool.
I wish I liked clear pens. It's kind of funky.
23 karat palladium nib. It's nice. Black cap, black knob. Comes with a very cool inkwell. Traveling inkwell. It's special for the pen. It's got a nice big metal section on it. This is engraved Visconti. Good looking pen. Very limited. It's nice. We've got 2 of them left. Fines and mediums. What more to say? It's a good looking. It's not too flashy. It's kind of conservative with the black and the silver.
But it's got a little
Kind of a cracked ice kind of thing.
pop of detail.
Yeah. So you can see whatever on that pen. I'd put something bright. Why not?
You would do bright?
Yeah.
Like-
Bright blue.
Okay.
Turquoise maybe.
Mix it up
I might
there,
go
big
all
boy.
out
No
and put
way.
a turquoise ink in that thing.
All right.
Opera, Silver Dust.
With a free.
Free inkwell. It's a nice box too. It's not huge. That's what I like about it. It's not a huge
Yeah.
box. A new box, and I hope they bring that out for the rest of the line. Also, just out, new Visconti Rembrandts. These are just starting to trickle in. These are great. You're the art history person, so you can maybe talk about this, but apparently not. New darker colors.
Yes.
So we have the Dark Forest, which is kind of a gray and green and black.
Well, I think the point with the new line was that these colors are more true to
Consistent with
Rembrandt's.
Okay, so you can
artworks.
talk about it. I
Yeah,
knew you
I was
could.
just messing with you.
I know.
I don't do that anymore.
Eclipse, which is kind of a
You're flipping those around awful fast.
brown, orange, dark kind of thing going on. And this one I think is maybe the coolest, although I do like the Dark Forest at Twilight. It's got a little purple and red in there.
This is pretty.
Fountain pen, rollerball, ballpoint, of course, like the rest of the Rembrandts. Fountain pens right now actually come in extra fine, medium, broad, and stub. There's been a shortage of fine nibs at Visconti for a while, so we're completely out of those. Extra fines and stubs have come over from former calligraphy sets that they used to make with Rembrandt. So they're using up some of those nibs. So you can get an extra fine nib option, all steel, of course, cartridge converter. Good looking pens, priced the same as the rest of the Rembrandt lineup. And she's not even paying attention.
No, they're really pretty.
They're nice.
I'm very excited.
I like them. I do like them.
I think these are definitely, they have more interest, more detail, more color.
They're not as in your face as some of the other ones.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're very, this green is gorgeous. This is,
Yes.
this is going to be the best seller right here. This one right here.
Or maybe not.
The Dark Forest. I think it is. I think
Okay.
it's going to be,
All right.
So anyway, that's a lot of the new stuff just in the last 2 weeks.
At least that's all they told us about. There may be more, but I don't know.
Actually, there are some more stuff, but we'll have to talk about them next week.
They just
Visit to Itoya. So we went to LA, and that's our first thing. In fact, we go down a day early just so we can get there.
just so Brian has enough time to shop.
Well, I knew they had a pen that I wanted,
Yes.
and I was hoping they had it.
Yes.
And we get there, and of course, instead of hauling a bunch of sailors with us, I can just pick them up there. I can just order them, and we get a list, and I start checking it off. But we got there.
Yeah, it was like 12 pages. He's just.
Well, yeah. Why not? I mean, I have my inventory there. We got to see Larry Keok, who's the vice president, and all the rest of the great staff. Shujen from Taccia.
We got to meet Shun Takamura,
Shun
the founder
Takamura.
of Itoya.
Yeah, he's the
in the
man who's
US.
responsible for the whole operation here in the U.S. Wonderful, wonderful man. A delight to talk to.
Yes, he was very sweet. We'd never met him before. His son Jin had been president for a while, and now his son Don is president. But we'd never met Shun, so that was an honor.
Yeah, very much so. Got to see the new PaperSkaters. We had a couple new products that are coming out any day now.
Yes.
Very
excited.
On the both on the Itoya side and on the Sailor side, and as well on the Taccia side. So a lot of new stuff coming out, especially first quarter, second quarter, and then of course I got the list.
Yeah, we shopped a lot.
And so what did we bring home? I bought 106 pens,
I think
107
so.
pens, something like that.
And we had a
and
bunch
like
of other stuff shipped.
several
You were out
hundred.
of control.
I was out of control. Several hundred bottles of ink.
So
and
what'd
so,
you get?
so I got this. This is the companion piece to the piece that I got last year. Yamada Ando. This is the Stream. This is Urushi, and it's made by, of course, the company that makes all the lacquerware for the Imperial family. But it has a cute little
He's
dip pen
so
on there.
excited
It's
that
cute.
the pen has a pen on it.
My pen
He was
has a pen on
showing
it.
everybody
yeah.
at the show.
Yeah, and actually, this actually has a little bit of, this is very, very unusual. This nib actually has a little bit of softness on it. Full size Pro Gear.
Do not flex it.
Yeah, don't flex it. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. But Urushi lacquer, Maki A, Stream, it's
very cool.
And it's.
And I have a confession to make. I made out like a bandit in
She
LA.
made out a bandit in LA.
Usually.
This was the only pen I got, by the way. I'm just going to say that. I didn't buy a single pen at the show.
You made up for it this past weekend. I'll tell you what.
I didn't buy anything this weekend.
No, you did not.
No, I didn't.
I don't think you've said thank you enough. So in LA for Valentine's Day, I picked up this little baby. It is a white Pro Gear with a full size with rose gold
Full
trim.
size.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full size.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for me. Those of you
That's
who...
the first full size you have.
I might have another
I
one.
don't think you have a full size.
I might have hidden
Yeah.
it.
Great.
Took one from the Brian Anderson School of Pennage. So a pure white with rose gold trim. I have a thing for rose gold.
It's a good looking pen.
Yeah.
It really is.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Even the nib.
Medium fine, I think, on that one.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Only comes
So
in
that
medium
was
fine.
exciting. And then I totally scored at the show.
Who found these for you, by the way?
Well, you did.
Of course I
Did
did.
Jason find this one for me?
No, I found it.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you. So I picked up a very cool, still stickered, white carbonesque vanishing point with rhodium trim.
When I saw that, I stopped. I did not pass go. I came straight to the table. I said, you have to go look at this pen. If you want it, you need to buy it.
Yes,
The
so I
price is
did.
right. White carbonesque. How
Yeah.
great is that? Rhodium trim.
Very cool.
That's a sexy looking pen. A white, I mean, I know
Keep
it's a...
your grubby
I know,
paws
It's
off
but
my
as a white
pen.
pen, that's a good looking pen.
Yes, yes, very
Really
cool.
good.
And then this little baby. Does anybody out there know what this is?
Oh, I bet some people do.
I bet
Maybe.
they do. So this is it purple?
It's purple.
It's purple.
It's purple.
It's really hard to tell. Is it purple or is it blue? But it's purple with a white a white top,
It's a Sailor Pro
Gold.
color.
gold trim. Yeah, it's pro color. These are cool.
Steel nib,
Mm-hmm.
gold plated.
But different. I don't have one.
And it's
so
got a little fleck, semi-transparent, a
yes,
little fleck in it.
little tiny fleck. So
Yeah,
it's a
it's
little
part of-
sparkly, just like me. It's a little sparkly.
Just a little sparkly.
A little.
Edward. Anyway,
Jacob, Team Jacob, baby, all the way.
it's part of the Shikiori.
Yes.
Apparently, Sailor made a pen to match each of the Shikiori colors, and that's
So this is like Pokemon. Got to have them all.
yeah, apparently.
Got to get them all.
That's the only one I saw at the show.
And then,
And then, so do we want to say anything else about the LA show? I mean, we got to talk about the LA show. We were
all right,
gone
so
for
the
a
LA
week.
show, oh, we do, and we have shout outs,
We have shout-outs.
if I can get it right. All right, so LA show, a whole lot of, I'm going to go with Much Ado. About nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
A
It was a lot
lot
of
of
drama
people
for
were
nothing.
confused and things were being blown out of proportion and people were
lot of
like
rumors.
bracing themselves because of rumors. The hotel had was still undergoing renovation and no one was quite sure where the show was actually going to be in the hotel. In the old spot, down in the basement, a different ballroom, we weren't sure. We got there on Wednesday after we went to Itoya, and the hotel absolutely was not finished. We had heard that
There's
the
only
show,
one elevator actually at the
Yes.
time. You had to kind of reach around the corner just to get to the
No,
button.
they undid more.
Well, they did the other day,
Yeah.
but the first day you couldn't.
Yes.
You could. It was really hard to get to the.
The entire lobby had been cordoned off. We could take the single elevator down to the basement where we had heard that the show was going to be, and that room didn't even have a floor.
No
There
floor.
were men in hard hats working, but I wouldn't say feverishly. So this was not going to happen there. We checked upstairs, and it was still going to be in the same ballroom. And Thursday, we knew that the show was not going to open until after lunch. It turns out they were waiting for the fire marshal to approve all of the renovations. So it happened a little bit later than the 1 o'clock, I think, opening.
It was probably 3.
Yeah, it was
three-ish.
probably 3, but it really wasn't that bad.
Although you couldn't drive your car up to the front.
Yeah.
That was the problem. So you had to park on the street, and but it all worked out, and it was in the same.
It was
room.
in the same ballroom and the same layout. I mean, really, that part of it was very, thank God,
Yeah,
anticlimactic.
it was.
There was no restaurant and bar. There was a place called The Tent, and it was exactly that,
Literally
a
a
big
tent.
tent out in the parking lot. We discovered a better place to park, which we're not going to talk
We're
about
not
because
going
that's
to talk
going to be a
about it.
secret.
Don't ask.
But all in all, it was really very anticlimactic, very a lot less stress than a couple of years ago. So it was good.
Yeah, once we were set up, it was great. There was a lot of people. I would say I want to say the attendance this year I thought was pretty good. Yeah, well, a little bit light on Saturday, I thought.
Yeah,
but,
Friday was busy.
Friday was very busy.
Saturday was a little slower.
I think people were excited just to be in, and I think maybe the weekend traders came in, and then on Friday they were in with gusto, and then on Saturday we were just more into casual, chatting mode, and Sunday was I think was the
crazy
busiest
busy.
Sunday we've ever seen.
I hate that. I do. I hate that that's the one busy day.
It'd be nice if you could spread it out,
But they don't,
but
so you
it's
deal
just
with
how it is. So
But for those who came as weekend traders, like we got to spend a lot of time with our friend Stacy and his daughter
Yep.
Faith, who I love. I tried to get her engaged to our new employee Conrad. They would be great. They'd have beautiful kids. They're both very sweet. So I was trying
Look
to
at
play
you,
matchmaker.
matchmaker,
I
yeah.
know. We got to spend some time with our friend Ty,
Mm-hmm.
who watches the podcast with his 3 daughters. I'm going to get this right. Miki, Maya, and May.
So
If I screwed it up, I'm sorry. I have it written down elsewhere.
yeah, we had a good time chatting.
Yes, yes.
You know, a lot of my friends who are watch fans.
You and Jason were certainly comparing watches most of the weekend
I
shopping,
had people
even
coming
at dinner.
up. Yeah. People coming up showing me their Seikos. It was like Seiko Saturday.
Here's the deal, people. Do not torture him with really nice watches because then he wants to buy them.
I don't want to buy them all. It's not like Pokemon. Anyway, it was really cool to chat with people.
It was.
Sometimes it's cool to chat with people about other things other than pens.
Yes,
you know, because we
absolutely.
do have this common bond. We do bond over pens, but it's cool to have other connections too. And sometimes it's cars, and sometimes it's watches, and sometimes it's gardening, and it's it's whatever. It's food. So it's always great. Jason Forbes is there, our good friend, and helper on the West Coast, and he's awesome.
Yep.
Congratulations on the new house, buddy.
Yes, he and his wife just bought a house, so they're in full-blown, oh my God, we just bought a house, home ownership stuff.
Good.
And who else did we see?
Our friend Steph.
Steph,
came
woo!
over from Philadelphia, so she was behind the table on occasion.
Was she shopping? I think she was shopping more than working.
She bought stuff.
She had a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just
it was good. A good time. A good time's had by all, I would say. And
I will just
easy
bring
drive. You'll bring up what?
I will just bring us down a hair. It was sad to not have Eddie G there.
It was,
It's
and
weird. Usually he comes to the table in LA with a beer, trying to get Brian to go have a beer at the bar
Yep.
before we're closed down,
Yep.
and then I
Yep.
have to scold both of them, and it was a little sad that I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't deny you a beer.
Yeah,
then.
like Friday and Saturday, I was kind of expecting him to come around and say, "Hey, let's come on. You can get away from the
All
table.
right,
Yeah,
I'm going to
come
bring
on,
you one.
come on."
Yeah.
So, but we will. And on that note, we were going to set up the Eddie G table. We still have some stuff left over
Yes.
from Eddie G, but it didn't happen for a number of reasons. But we're going to be taking the bags and some of Eddie's pens with us to Baltimore.
Yes.
So if you saw us in Philadelphia with the bags and the tables, which were on the table next to the PCA table, we're going to have those again with us. And I would like to be able to make them all go to new happy homes.
Yep.
And so we can proceeds go to
His daughter's
school fund. So anyway, on that note,
Yep.
LA Pen Show was great. If you haven't gone, you need to go to that show. If you're on that coast, don't make any excuses.
We stayed at the nicest hotel.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great little hotel. Yeah.
Since the just thinking about the drive back and all of that, we stayed at a New Hampton Inn around the corner. Oh my God.
It was nice.
I want to move in.
Yeah, it was great. So,
all right, what
anyway,
else?
Baltimore Pen Show's coming up real quick. This week we actually leave today. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. New hotel this year.
Again.
But that's great. It's going to be a good show. It's run by Bert Ozer from Bertram's Inkwell.
Bert puts on a really well organized show. There's it runs smoothly for the event attendees, for vendors, and attendees have all sorts of great seminars.
Yeah, there's a ton of them this year. There's a
parties,
ton of them, yeah.
Like, I think we're doing it wrong. We just need to go as attendees and have fun.
Okay.
No, but there's no budget.
There's no budget for that.
Yeah.
There's no budget? I can't buy pens if I go as an attendee?
No.
Well, what's the point?
There you go.
Anyway, Baltimore Pen Show this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Go.
Check it out on the web. Updates on Chicago. We got to tell people what's going on there. We're getting close. We're getting close.
I'm exhausted, but it's so freaking awesome. We went down on Saturday.
Saturday morning.
Thank you, Chris, for working for us today, for working for us last weekend. And we went down Saturday. We met with our new store manager, which was super awesome. We've known him for years. We knew that he was a yes, but this was our first opportunity to actually show him the space.
Yeah, we spent a solid 3 hours walking around the store at least. 3 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got some great ideas. He asked a lot of good questions, so it was perfect. And then...
And that dude knows Mont Blanc. Let me tell you, he knows
Yes, he
pens.
does.
So he is...
Yeah, we're excited.
It's going to be great.
But he's trainable.
He's trainable. We'll train him.
So we'll get him trained our way.
So that was Saturday. We met with him. And what else did we do on Saturday?
What else did we do on Saturday?
We set up the store.
Oh, yeah.
We set up
So
more in the
we
store.
brought
So
up a bunch of stuff
we got
and put things out.
Displays are
cleaned up.
ready. Got everything cleaned up.
So Sunday, we had a couple interviews, and we were hoping that this would be it, that we would be able to fill that last spot, which was the assistant manager position, and we did. And oh my God, am I excited.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a crackerjack team.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I love our Appleton people.
Oh, yeah.
Love, love, love. Handpicked every single one of them. Love them. But God, I really want to go down to Chicago with the newbies. They're so awesome and
No,
cool.
they're going to be
fun.
great. It's going to be a great team.
Yeah.
And yes, we're going to have 3 staff members named Chris.
Oh my God.
So that might be
And
slightly
they all
confusing.
want to go by Chris.
They all want to be. There's a Chris, there's a Christopher, and there's
a
a Christine,
Christine.
but they all want to go by Chris. So
We're gonna have to rename them.
we're going to call I had the original.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr. Paper.
Number one, number 2, and number 3. And we're just going to call my number. No, but
You got Mr. Paper, you got Mr. Chris, and Mrs. Chris.
yes.
So,
So
amazing, amazing people. We are
we're excited.
super
We're excited.
Yes.
And
Whoever goes to Chicago will be in fantastic
you're going to be
hands.
in good hands. These
Yes.
people know pens. Years, and dare I say, decades of experience in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
Where we're not talking somebody who's just a casual pen collector for the last couple of years. These
No.
people have decades of experience in the industry.
Yes.
Working for other companies, manufacturers, you name it. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Got that taken care of Sunday.
And I got to confess, that's a huge relief. If you don't have good staff, it doesn't matter how good the product is. If you as a customer comes in and the staff is clueless, what's the point?
Yeah, it's not a good experience for you. So, and that's what we want. We want a good
Yes.
experience for everybody that walks in
Yes.
there. So,
Then that's Sunday.
That's
So
Sunday,
Sunday
yep.
night, we had dinner with our dear friend George from Retro 51,
the owner of Retro.
owner, founder.
Yep. Happened to be in town, so we actually rearranged our schedule so we
Yes,
could
we could be there
We could
for
be
that.
there.
Had a
which was
great
great.
time. Amazing steak dinner. That man loves his steak.
Chicago Chop House.
Yes.
Holy wow,
Wow.
that place is crazy.
My dessert was really good. You had lava cake that at least exploded this time. That
Yes,
was nice.
that was good.
Amazing dinner. We got to meet some friends of George's, so it's always fun to make new friends and hear stories.
Well, the funny thing is, so that they're friends of George's, but they were not necessarily pen people. But then all of a sudden, like halfway through dinner, Kelly starts whipping out these retro 51s that we've never seen before. We're like, hey, let me
What
see
is
that.
this?
Yeah, and we
Exactly.
started talking about retros. I mean, it was
Exactly.
really cool. There's some really
Yep.
cool stuff from 20 years ago. Talking about ideas for future special editions. It was a good time. Good time. We were there for quite a while. And you've got something. We were there on Saturday. I guess we got to back up to Saturday.
Saturday. On
So
Saturday, we were there talking to our new manager, and
But this we can't consider this our first customer because they didn't necessarily buy anything.
no, but our first non-company related visitor.
Purely by chance.
I swear, I had nothing to do with this.
Purely by chance.
A very, very dear friend who I have known for 22 years.
And you haven't seen since.
I haven't seen since before I moved to Appleton.
Which
I
is
swear, I haven't
10
seen him.
Which is 10 years, at least 10 years.
It was 2009.
Yeah,
You got to work on that math.
seems like 10 years.
I know. What are you saying? So anyway, my dear friend Jeff he used to live in Tampa, and then he decided that he was going to spend 55 months traveling on $55 a day. He sold his house, he sold his car, he sold everything, put whatever was left in a pod,
Storage unit.
and started to travel the world. And he's been to Greece, he's been to Latvia, yeah,
Oh, look at me.
all over the place. Spain, he ran with the Bulls, that was pretty
Nice.
cool. So he's been doing all these things, and then his brother passed away. And he is now spending probably about a year somewhere in northern Illinois. And we've been just see what each other's doing on Facebook. That's it. And all of a sudden he shows up at the Chicago store on Saturday
Well,
out of the blue.
The door opens and this guy, and I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, I've seen this dude before, but I don't know. I'm like, what are you doing here? Hello, can I help you? You know, are you lost? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Starbucks is over there.
And I turn around, and apparently the look on my face was priceless, Jeff said.
Apparently.
Because I just kind of did my usual Lisa scream and hug several times. But he'd been going through his brother's things, and there were some pens. So he brought these 2 boxes of, I think, every pen in the house, including a whole lot of Amerisweets ballpoints from hotels and all sorts of fun stuff.
A lot of those.
And brought a friend with him, so I got to meet her, and it was just
We're
really...
talking big box, though. This
Oh,
was
yeah.
not... This was
This
he had no idea we were actually there, and these were heavy boxes.
Yeah, he thought that the store was already open, and he was just going to leave them with whatever staff member was there. So to have us there was a complete coincidence. It was awesome.
Because you didn't put it on Facebook that we were going down to Chicago for the weekend, nothing like that. So, and these were legitimately heavy. I mean, when we were taking them to the elevator, I had to rest them on the garbage can because I wasn't going to hang on to this thing for the.
So he and Jesse brought them from the parking lot to the hotel. Since we don't have the sign on the window yet, nobody seemed to know where we were. The shoe shine guy
knew where we were.
Thank you. But anyway, long story short, Jeff brought 2 giant boxes of pens. And so what did we do Saturday night? That's what we did Saturday night.
We put a towel out on the bed and we just
threw all the pens out.
It's hundreds of pens.
Yeah, it is.
Hundreds of pens.
So we sorted those. I pulled one for me. I might pull another one.
That's a great pen. That's really a great pen.
This is really cool. So explain to people at home what this is.
So this is a clipless Parker 45.
In the brocade pattern.
Yeah, so it's got a gold fill overlay. Brocade. It's a spiral pattern that goes around the cap and the barrel. And then the end caps
are wood trim.
It's
very cool.
And it has kind of a, what do you call that, an ivory?
Yes.
Ivory section.
Ivory section.
And it does have the 14 karat Parker 45 nib.
Yeah.
I think that one's a fine, but that's a, whoops, sorry. I'll look at it here.
Just make sure I get it back.
You will, yeah. It's a very unusual 45. You don't normally see them like that. Clipless. It's really a stunning, stunning pen.
So I wanted just
it's great.
A memory of what a crazy coincidence that was.
You're not going to find that pen just anywhere, anytime, any day soon. It's really a great,
so that was very cool.
Great pen. Yep. So, but
what else? And then Monday, Brian was sick. Brian started to feel poorly.
Thanks again, Jason.
So we came down Monday morning, met with our contractor, paid her off, which was a great feeling.
Yes.
Got the keys. Oh my God.
And then we went for breakfast.
Because
it was early, because she had to go to another job site.
And we were waiting for our gondolas to be delivered. And so that was supposed to be between 10
essentially,
and 12.
those are, for people who don't know what the gondola is, essentially it's a bookshelf.
Yes.
Slat wall bookshelf is what they are.
Heavy duty metal. That's what the ink and paper is going to be on. And they're going to line both sides of the store. And Brian wasn't feeling well. I figured I could work downstairs, grab a Starbucks in secret, maybe whatever.
So you do know that since we share the Starbucks app, I see when you use it.
I know.
So you're not going to grab one, and I'm not going to know about it.
You were too sick to know anything.
Anyway, so
I sent him up to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to go up to sleep, and we got 2 hours until we're supposed to check out of the room.
And they're never on time. Deliveries are never on time.
10 to noon.
10 to noon, so I'm thinking 1 o'clock. I've got tons of time to get some stuff done, order some things for the new store, just, get caught up, organize files or whatever.
I just get asleep. It's not 30 minutes in and the phone rings.
And it's me.
You got to get down here now.
The delivery was already made, and it's an entire skid.
I'm thinking,
it's too heavy for me to do by myself.
How big can this stuff be? I didn't think they were metal. I thought they were just regular.
No, we got the better ones.
We got the better ones.
Yeah.
Of course we did. And it's an entire skid of boxes and
10 trips.
We must have made 10 trips. Of course, it had to be. You were correct. It was the furthest possible location and the furthest end of the furthest dock, around the corner through 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of doors.
Yes. And
actually 5 and
up and down this really it's.
What was that, about a
poorly designed
45-degree
ramp.
angle? I mean, it was insane.
Yeah. some of the trips that we made, there were some really heavy things on the cart, and both of us are literally walking backwards, pushing the cart so that it doesn't just run right down. It's never boring with us.
Nope.
But we got all that done.
Let's see, be about 40 feet of slant wall.
Yes.
I think is what it came to.
3, 6, 9.
So
15,
it was a
18.
lot. We got them into the store. And we proceeded to figure out how to put them together. Step 1 was a piece of cake. We got step 1 done, putting the legs on.
Yes.
In no time.
It went a little sideways from there.
Step 2 took like 3 hours.
Because the instructions were really poor.
So bad.
And we're normally pretty good at this stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, there was a point where one or both of us was ready to either throw something, hit something,
yeah,
leave.
I was close.
Yeah.
I was about ready to go
I
home and
know
give
you
it up.
were.
And,
I know.
we made a call to the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Putting it together. And we
They weren't helpful.
finally got it together. And
once you figured out their poor instructions, it actually went pretty quickly.
we got the first two of them together, and they hooked together. So we got the first 6 feet put in one spot, and we got it. And then we walked over to the other side, and we figured out a better way to do it. And so we get going, and all of a sudden we look and we go, you know what?
We don't have enough parts.
We don't have enough parts. We did the first one completely wrong. So we had to take it about half apart.
The instructions said to do the front and the back.
No.
Well, apparently not on these. You
don't
only
need
do the front. So we had to take it apart to get the back off. And
So long story short, by the time we got it down,
looks amazing.
yeah, it's pretty darn good looking.
Yes.
I would say.
It
I'm excited.
It really completes the look. So then we had brought some product down, and so we put some ink up just to make it feel like we were making
It's
progress.
gonna,
It looks awesome.
After the Baltimore show, it's going to start filling up. It's going to be nice. So, still on track for when we want to open. And
Can we move? Because that's really pretty down
we're
there.
not going to move.
It's really nice.
Don't be silly.
We can crack the whip remotely. It's not the same to give them the look over Skype.
No,
though.
it's
I
not.
bet
It's not.
So,
Anyway.
it's going to be a beautiful
Yep.
space, a great team. We're working on ordering more than enough product so that there's cool stuff. But it really, by the time we left, as sick and exhausted as we were, it really felt like we'd made some major strides in the right direction.
Yep.
So it really feels like it
It
actually
was a
might happen.
good weekend. We'll be back down when we get
weekend.
back from Baltimore. So
Yep.
and,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
finish up some more of it. So anyway, anything else you want to talk about? I think that's it for this week. Huh?
I think that's it.
Okay.
If there is, we'll talk about it next week.
See us at the Baltimore show this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Tune in next week for more talk about pens, ink, and paper.
Follow the blog for news, interviews, and don't forget, if you are in the Chicago area, sign up for the Chicago mailing list.
Yes.
And follow us on social media as Anderson Pens.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.